Hello and welcome to the Old Man Orange Podcast. Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Dunigan.
I was watching Speed Racer last night.
Yep.
When was the last time you watched? Like, no, not the movie. The original 1965 anime show.
Last time I recall, not exactly watched, just seeing it, like in passing, like on Speed Vision, like in the background somewhere.
I remember Speed Racer. That was the one cartoon that's like they put on there.
I remember because, yeah, back when, that had to be my freshman, sophomore year in high school. I remember my dad would always watch Speed Vision, or I don't know what it's called now, but when it was Speed Vision. And they'd always have that.
I think they just call it now Speed because everything has to be shortened.
Yeah, and I remember he'd just have it on in the background and be like, oh, they're not showing Top Gear, I don't give a shit. But I remember that would be on in the background. And then, aside from that, last time I remember sitting down and actually watching it, probably 6th grade.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, a while back when they first released it on DVD, I bought, like, the first one. I think I had, like, a gift card at Target, 10 years ago, whenever they put it out. At Big Lots, they had that 4th one for $3. I'm like, fucking hey, I'll buy that. $3 for, like, the 4th volume. And it's like, I haven't watched Speed Racer in a while, Last time I watched it, I guess, was when the DVD first kind of came out. I bought the first one, and that's a lot of times how season sets are. You buy the first one, you just never sometimes get around to buying the other ones.
Yeah, it happens that way sometimes.
And that show, when I was a kid, that was one of the first shows I remember really getting into. And it always sounds weird because you tell us like an older person, you're like, man, I was watching Johnny Quest and I was watching like Speed Racer. And he's like, boy, what?
Did you have a time machine or something?
Yeah, like how the fuck were you watching all these? Like
Boomerang.
Well, they didn't even have Boomerang yet. Yeah. This was just when Cartoon Network first started out, and the only new things Cartoon Network had was Johnny Bravo, Courage Hardly Dog. This was still pre-Powerpuff Girls.
Two Stupid Dogs.
Yeah, things like that. It was all their cartoon shows.
I remember Two Stupid Dogs had like a reboot version of like Secret Squirrel. Do you remember that? In between the Two Stupid Dogs segments,
it was fucking weird. There's like a really dark Secret Squirrel too.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of like it had some of that hidden adult humor that you want to get in here.
Well, it wasn't. I want to say Two Stupid Dogs was created by either the guy who created Ren and Stimpy or one of the people from Ren and Stimpy.
It had that kind of Ren and Stimpy humor. I remember there was an episode where they were like confused to be like political figures of some sort. They actually went to this big UN party and Bill Clinton was there. There's a bunch of kids on him, like a bunch of like third world country kids, like, come on kids, okay, touch the president, ride the president, it's alright.
I remember that show being, it's pretty funny, I remember watching it a bit, but I can't really, it's like, I don't remember a whole lot.
I don't remember the detail. I remember that UN party, and I remember the Secret Squirrel segments that came between.
Well, I remember Speed Racer, though, because it was one of those shows, it was one of the first animes that was ever kind of, like, on...
America.
In America. And it was at the time, too, where, like, nobody told you what an anime was, so you were just like, there's something slightly different about this show, but maybe it's just because it's from 1965. Maybe that's the only reason it's different. That was the only thing you could really point out. It's just like, maybe because it's older, that's why it looks a little bit different.
My mom loved that show when she was a kid, and she didn't know that it was an anime.
Well, I don't think they kind of like popped it in, and just kind of like, it was like, you just put it between two American shows, nobody will know the difference. Put Johnny Quest in front, and put Two Stupid Dogs after it.
I'm gonna guess, I don't know, but I'm just gonna guess, Speed, Pop Racer. Those probably weren't even their real names. They probably changed it for the American show. I
bet you that show probably, it's kind of, yeah, I bet you it might be a bit different if you would watch, like, say, like, you just got the original Japanese, and they just kind of put the original subtitles on it.
He just has, like, the Japanese equivalent to Tom.
Yeah.
So it's really in Japan just called Tom the Driver or something like that.
Here goes Tom Racer. Yeah. Well, I remember because, like, all the original anime shows I can remember, and these were the ones before you didn't know they're Japanese, you didn't know they're anime, you could just say there's something different, that I remember seeing on TV was Sailor Moon was one of the first ones coming on, and Voltron.
I remember Voltron.
And then Speed Racer. Those were, like, the first three I remember them, and really you could say that anime really got its boom from two shows, Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon. Once those came on, because they came on about the same time.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z came a little bit before Pokemon.
A lot of them were like, well, the kids like this big eye shit, so just throw it out there.
Yeah. And it's weird, because when you watch like Speed Racer now, you're like, oh, it is clearly an anime. But just when you don't have that knowledge, previously, it's just like...
Yeah.
But you watch it, it's just like, it's as anime as fuck.
It is. Plus, they have like the same three people doing voices, like 2 guys and a woman.
Yeah, probably. That show, like, it really sounds like you're watching an old martial arts, like a very grindhouse one. Like, the audio is pretty actually bad, and not bad like the dialogue, but just like, it's kind of like staticky throughout it. You're just like, oh, geez. Come on, guys, couldn't you put it through a little bit of a filter to, like, make... I don't know. It's one of those shows, it's like, it's still a good show. It's like, be nice to see somebody go back and do like a redub of it. I know that might be blasphemy to some people, but just for the fact that audio is kind of a little bit like, it just feels like that audio track's really worn.
Sometimes it feels, it's kind of weird. Like, it works for music, I guess, depending on what you like. Like, say if you put on like an old punk album from the 70s, like a band just starting off, like, you know, Misfits, like their first album, or like an early Stooges album. Something about that, kind of like when they're doing a live show in like some dank bar in the middle of nowhere and just bad recording. Something about that, there's just a certain charm about it. But when it's movies, though, or television, it's really...
a little distracting.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I will say, it was a little... And, you know, really, it's like... The show still holds up well. I think it still holds up pretty good. You know, it's action-packed. You know, it's got a pretty good story. I remember the one big thing about it that made it different from American shows, though, is for how fast they talked. Even though I know it's American dubbing, but, like, everything was very fast in it.
I'm guessing what it was is...
There's a lot of fucking violence.
Well, I'm guessing the whole thing with the...
Speed Racer kills somebody in the intro titles.
He, like, rams him right off the road, right?
Yeah, like, in the song, I can't remember, because that's the part where it's like... Where it tells you, like, better watch out, he's coming. He's just, like, fucking runs and the guys go through and the hugest explosion, like the explosion's bigger than like all 60 cars in this race.
And I like the movie, but I like in the movie they actually said like, well, they have little like foam ball things that come around them when they get in like a little escape pod type deal.
But just like. But, you know, the one thing that was cool about that show is I liked it because in the 60s they had a lot of shows where they always went to, like, kind of, like, different locations or whatever. You know, now he's racing through these, like, you know, deep snow mountains. He's got to use all these 007, like, gadgets to kind of get through. Or, you know, he's doing the volcano one. It's like, that's a badass race. Like, okay, there's a volcano, lava's going to come down. If you fuck up, you're dead.
Yeah.
I like that kind of, like, concept.
And it'd always be like he'd be forced to race because of some mobster.
Yeah, some mobster would have his family.
You gotta throw the race, Speed, and somehow he still manages to win and get his family out of the way or something. Like gets the detector, inspector, or whatever, or something.
Oh yeah,
inspector and what was his name?
He just had a name.
Inspector Detective, something like that.
Inspector Detective, yeah,
something like
something weird.
Like that, I'm just guessing. I might be wrong. I'm just guessing that's probably names they came up with for the American version. They probably have real names in the Japanese version. I give that a guess.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see like Japan make another Speed Racer show. They did the one in the 80s. Have you ever seen the 80s one before?
No.
It's pretty. That used to come on Speed Vision before they started replaying the old ones, and it was really hard to catch. I mean, like they play like one episode a week, and I remember like I tried to catch it and. It's really cool, and they make the Mach 5s all, like, fucking huge. Like, it's the 80s, so it's, like, twice the size and everything.
Is it, like, just like a Hummer or something, but a Mach 5?
No, it's like the Mach 5, but it almost has, like...
Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, you literally, almost like Dark Knight Returns, just as fucking massive. It's not that big, but, you know, it's still a car. Let's just say, it's not like an SUV or anything like that, but...
It's on treads.
I remember that one being pretty cool. I should see if they have that on DVD.
They probably do by this point. One. I know they re-released a bunch of Speed Racer shit right when the movie came out.
Yeah, well, they put, like, that CG, like, American show out and whatnot. But I'd like to see Japan take Speed Racers, because it's such a classic franchise by now, that, why don't you just take it and make, like, almost like, you know, it's at the point, too, where for a lot of things nowadays, it's like, they don't have to be, like, a kid show. I know it was, you know, in a sense... You know, you watch it, you're like, it's kind of like... I guess nowadays you kind of look, like, there's a lot of violence in this show. It'd be a kid's show, but...
is there, like, a lot of people getting... I know, like, people getting ran off the road and
people getting ran off the road. People getting... It's kind of like Johnny Quest, though, I guess.
Oh, okay,
it's no different than that. Johnny Quest had, you know, people dying...
With more cars.
Yeah. Johnny Quest has a lot of, like animals that are like, watch out, Hodgie, there's a spider on you! Takes it over. Race, give me your rocket launcher! Good thing that... We taught that spider a lesson.
Let's kill this non-Christian heathen savages over here, you know? They would kill. I remember they would kill a lot of natives or like that in the show, like with no remorse in Johnny Quest.
It had a bit of that in there. Not really. You didn't really see like Race Bannon or anybody shooting them. It would be like the bad guys would shoot them.
Well, it'd be like they teamed up with the bad guys, like you want our secret idol or something like that, or you must be sacrificed to the snake god of Gerudo or whatever.
But yeah, I don't think Race Banner or anybody ever killed like just natives. He killed a lot of like people that probably just like they're just doing a job.
Yeah. No, I know, just not like your average kind of villager. Like, look, Race has a lot of bent up, angry energy deep down. He has every so often.
Dad, where does Race go at night? Oh, he just goes out to hunt natives.
It makes the Nom flashbacks go away.
That's why he's friendly all day long.
Okay, that's why a man who can take a life so easily can be so nice around children, alright?
But, like, think of a Speed Racer show that was almost like... as serious as like a Cowboy Bebop. I think that would be cool. Just it's like same concept. It's races and all this stuff, and you can have like the the sort of because you got to have partially the volcano races and things that like make it different. That's not just totally like realistic, but just almost like where it's very serious. It's kind of almost like maybe can even have sad and kind of moments and stuff, some emotion.
I think that could work. I can see that. You're gonna have to make Spritle not like
Spritle and Chim Chim are like the two characters that like.
They just leave them in the house, like, hey, God, they're there, but we don't really pay any attention to them.
Well, you could still have them in it. You just the one don't have Spritle wearing like the weird lollipop like kids costume and
yeah, like he's a member of the Lollipop Guild or whatever.
Yeah, you could just make him like realistic looking, I guess.
I remember like in the movie, I was kind of surprised the movie walked away with a PG rating. Because there are parts like Spritle literally flips the bird off to a guy.
Yeah,
Chim Chim throws shit at somebody.
Doesn't like Chim Chim jerk off at one point in the movie too?
Yeah, I don't think he's jerking.
Well, he's not jerking off, but he has like that motion. It's like he's from behind. He's like ah.
No, like they sneak in because. I
watched the movie once, but I just remember going like, "Holy fuck!" They just have Chim Chim beating off.
What happened is Spritle and Chim Chim were going to get like some candy or something, and Spritle has this look, and Chim Chim he wasn't jerking off, but he was like bobbing his head and making it and smiling. He started like puckering his lips, like look at the candy.
I think it's like maybe the shot was just like you saw his shoulders going up and down.
You saw the happy monkey dance, the thing about chimpanzees, though, is they eventually get, like, once they reach a certain age, they kind of give in to, like, their natural instincts, and they start going fucking crazy and territorial, so I wonder how long before, like, Chim Chim just starts biting Sprittle's face. And starts punching him, yeah.
Oh my gosh, Chim Chim's attacking Spritle right now. What do I do? If I give him a quick kick to the face, I might be able to get him.
Ha-ha!
Ha-ha! Take that! Ha-ha! Ha-ha!
Speed, goddammit! I told you not to get rid of that monkey. I can't fucking do that. You can't.
My love monkey! My love monkey!
How they do that so much? Because every episode I saw, it's like what the fuck?
They talk so fast, and that's just like it's amazing.
Yeah, it's like if you do a Speed Racer parody where they're talking that fast, you got to make it quick. Otherwise, you're gonna be out of breath. You can't like there's an episode of Dexter's Lab.
I remember that.
Where it was a total homage to Speed Racer.
It was one to the volcano race too. They have the soapbox derby thing.
I think that Mandark was like Snake Oiler. I think that's who he was supposed to be. And they even had the the lip motion thing where they show their lips and it would be all off sync and all that the whole time.
I don't think they had that.
No, they had that in the episode. Like Dexter would like move his mouth slowly like 3 times and be saying it really fast, but not be in sync with the episode at all.
I remember that being a really good episode because that was like the same time too. I was like, I was watching Speed Racer. I was like, oh my god, Dexter's Laboratory has a Speed Racer moment in it. That's badass.
Yeah, so I remember that was a good show.
I love Dexter's Laboratory is amazing. At least they changed it up. I saw in this probably 6 years ago by now or 7 years ago. But I remember seeing like a newer episode and it had like a different the animation was different. It's funny how that can that can really affect something like when the animation changes.
I'm thinking back probably from like 95 to 98.
I'm thinking like the original run, but I remember there was like a second run because the show went off. It did. I don't know because cartoon shows don't always have to go they don't have to keep going like a television show does or a live action show. They can stop a cartoon show after 3 seasons, just repeat it forever, and you kind of forget when it began.
Yeah, I want to say that for a while we grew up on Dexter's Laboratory. I think it had 3 seasons or something like that. And then,
I remember the first day I ever got satellite TV and was like, oh, Cartoon Network. What's Cartoon Network? Turned on. That was the first show that came on. Oh, okay. And it was right when that show first came out. It was just
that show was hilarious. I still think that show's funny. I haven't really seen it in years, but
I bet you it's just as good as you remember.
Yeah. Well, I remember it was also kind of dark for a kid's cartoon. And they would even sometimes do that thing if the parents knew that was in it, they probably wouldn't let you watch it. I remember there was an episode where Dexter was trying to disprove Santa Claus was real.
Oh,
and it was
I remember
just
that
a weird little thing they would do. Santa Claus didn't really speak English. He'd just go, ho, 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 and he'd just say it as if he's he'd say it in
different tones.
Yeah, and then at some point, he was literally fighting Santa Claus, trying to pull the wig or the beard off, and he realized it actually was Santa. And then at the very end, and Dexter, you ruined Christmas, you ruined the presents and all that. And he's like, well, isn't Christmas all about
love and family?
And Santa Claus is like, no, it's about the presents. It just ends right there.
I remember that.
So.
Well, I remember some of those shows too, because I remember a big thing being because like a lot of characters would always be like saying "shut up" a lot in it. I remember that was a time where people were like, "Well, when our kids just telling everybody to shut up every single time."
When like I remember
when like those words were almost like there's a time period when like "shut up" was almost like a swear word.
Yeah, and then like they would also say like "crap" in Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, it was like "shut up," "crap," whatever. It was like all these like 90s words like "whatever, mom," like "shut up," "fucking crap."
That reminds me, we're probably going to get into this because I want to mention this because we're actually leading to Man of Steel, but
Man of Steel,
since Man of Steel came out on DVD, I've been in a real DC binge for the last week and a half, and just been rereading a lot of comics and all that. And I actually, for the hell of it, decided to go back and reread Death of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to, we talked about this before, the episode or the Lone Ranger episode when like Sam Kern was on.
People always talk about the Death of Superman, but they do not talk about this one character that's in Death of Superman ever. It's like you always hear like, oh, Superman died, he had to fight, Doomsday. But they don't mention the fucking 90s kid.
The 90s kid Mitchell. That was his name. The 90s kid Mitchell. At least that's what I'm calling him.
Did you look up Mitchell and Scribblenauts?
I didn't look it up. I haven't played that game in a while. I got a little busy, but probably gonna pick it up at some point. I kind of reached this point where it's I realized at first I didn't realize what the whole thing with the game was, but apparently. I mean, you have like 1 or 2 missions you got to do in the actual little each little map, and then you just build up points doing small missions to unlock more maps. Yeah, and that's the thing. And it's after a while, it's like I kind of got a little bit more into the game. I kind of put it down. I haven't played it in the last couple of days just because I've been kind of busy. But it's I wish I waited until it was a little cheaper, but it's enjoyable. But it's I'm not amazed by it. I still wish it was kind of something else. But
yeah, it's one of those games. I feel like it could be cooler, but I did feel like I enjoyed it a little bit more the farther I went into it. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you can buy the costumes, it's kind of cool because like, oh, okay, put the Batman costume on, I can throw batarangs. Put the Green Arrow costume on, I get to shoot a bow and arrow. Put Superman one on, I can fly.
Shoot lasers? Can you shoot lasers or anything?
I don't think you can. You really get like one action and then maybe like a secondary kind of move.
I know when you have the I know that it's stupid. You could just fly if you have the Superman one. You should be able to have laser eyes or snow breath or something because you can just you can fly from going on a fucking jetpack. So
yeah, I think maybe you have the freeze breath. I can't remember. I don't even know if I got Superman costume. I might have just got other one instead.
Well, anyway, I was kind of rereading Death of Superman. We talked about this before, but in detail, there's just so much more to this that's just so
forgotten.
Yeah, like Dan Jurgens, he must just hate the fucking 90s. He just must hate it. And for a second, I wonder
how old Dan Jurgens was when he wrote that book.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm guessing he's the guy that worked in the 80s and 70s.
Well, I was guessing he was a 70s writer, and I just feel like he just went outside like fucking kids these days. All fuck ups. Living off their parents' fortune.
I want to read this real quick. Because before we were going out there, I actually want to read this and describe it for just a second.
Go for it.
So, kids, all you at home, get out your Death of Superman trade paperbacks and
flip the page.
54. Okay, first panel. We got this kid. All right. It's a distant shot. This kid wearing a shirt that says Metal Death. And then
Death or death?
Metal Death.
Like he's deaf in the ear?
Yeah, like D-E-A-F.
Okay.
Or maybe it says Metal Death. It's partially covered up. It may say Metal Death, but I don't know. Metal Death. It's a distant shot. Yeah, okay. Metal Death. And let's just go over this amazing dialogue. He's just riding on a skateboard. Man, do I love Fridays. No more sucky school for 2 whole days. Too bad I gotta go home to the war zone. Next panel. Kicking his skateboard up, flipping it, catching it. I could just hear Mom now. Mitch, dear, is that you? How was your day? Why does she have to be so corny? Why does she have to make Dad leave us? Next shot, probably one of my favorite shots.
Dad was cool, man. He used to
I'm not sure
sell coke to kids at school. He drove a Harley, too. He even had a beard. Yes. I aspire to be Dad.
He had a 16-year-old girlfriend.
While still married to Mom. How cool is that? In fact, that 16-year-old girl went to my school. She was so cool, she used to beat me up every day.
Say, why aren't you your father, man?
Give me those cigarettes.
I'm not sure if I mentioned he has long brown hair and a red backwards baseball cap, of course, and sort of like a red a green flannel shirt over the metal death.
You know, it sounds weird, but I never thought this would go away. But you really don't see people wear backwards baseball caps anymore. You every once in a while you'll see somebody, but it's all the flat bill, cocked to the side.
I hate the fucking. There's occasionally inside out, flip to the side bullshit. You see, you barely ever see that. It's more of an LA thing.
Well, you see, that's like the frat boy look. I always think.
Got a few more to go. All right. Home sweet home. What a dump. I mean, I hate this hole. Mitch, dear, is that you? No, it's Axl Rose and the band. You got anything worth eating around here? Help yourself to the fridge. How was school? You do good on your algebra class? Like you care. Next shot, it's him. His like arm slung over the fridge door. Hey, what happened to all the soda? Next shot is like this picture of this mom feeding the baby. The nicest looking mom. Just looks nice, looks friendly. No look of fucking, like agitation.
It's not like he's coming home to like a trailer and his mom's like over there just getting fucked.
Yeah, like on the.
There's some corn dogs in the fridge.
Like on the dinner table.
That's gonna cost you $2.50.
Like on the dinner table, like this is your new dad, Sturgis.
He gets to fuck you afterwards.
He says it's your ranch. But this is our house, Mom. Don't fucking matter
Not
anymore. He's got a gun. We met today at the food stamps. No, anyway. Of course I care. Say, wasn't today Superman was going to school to address the high school students on TV? You must have been thrilled to see that. Kid, arms crossed, leaning against the fridge, head cocked. No way! The Super Weasel was called away on some case and he bailed early. Why do we always run out of soda around here? Why can't you ever buy enough to last? Look, I'm sorry, but your little sister isn't feeling well, so I didn't have time to go shopping today. Flip on. My favorite panel ever. I'm just gonna show you that panel right here.
Fucking hits the wall. The funny thing is, this guy looks like he's like fucking like 28, living at home.
He's like slamming his fist against the wall with just this, like, you just told him you killed and fucked his, like, dog, you know? Like, I'm really tired of being that baby, the only one that rates around here. I mean, Dad always had enough soda for his new apartment. I'm sorry, Mitchell, but I can't keep up with everything here. The house isn't perfect, and neither am I, but I do the best we can. Jeez, no wonder Dad left and wants a divorce. The shot of this mom with just, like, she has just the single, like, tears streaming down her face, like, how can anybody say that? And he has this look on his face, he feels a little bad, but he's walking away, going to errands, see ya. Next thing you know, ice is thrown through the window, and Doomsday comes in, starts fucking shit up.
This part's still funny, though.
It goes on for a little while longer, but I'm just gonna skim ahead, because there's some extra chatter, but there's like, Superman gets punched in the chest by Doomsday, stands there, and Mom says, whoa, that punch looked like it could have taken down an entire mountain. Superman took it in. He's like, big deal, the Spud was too slow to dunk it. So, it's one of those things.
It's like that book right there. One, it's like, I know that book is kind of a generational thing, because it's supposed to be that, like, we're in, like, late 80s, 90s, it's the extreme time, the anti-hero time, it's Punisher and Lobo and Wolverine.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that point where it's kind of
Image comics.
Yeah, and it's at that point too where people are like, Superman, he's a fucking old man comic, he's just the Blue Boy Scout. Fucking bullshit. But that book right there is it's got to be written by like a guy who's like 50 years old by that point. There is no way that's written by anybody younger than 40.
It's that right there, at least that part I'm thinking right now. Like,
that is literally the guy who has to go to the comic book store and he's like, there's these kids with the skateboards that hang outside. He just starts making up personalities on me.
Yeah. Like Mitchell, that is literally the kid that lived down the street from him.
Hey, Spud, when are you going to finish that Superman comic?
Fucking waiting on that Superman comic. When are you going to finish the Guy Gardner comic? That's what I really want to read.
That's a guy I look up to.
Bowl cuts are badass.
Bowl cut means all man. That's why Mo had one in Three Stooges. He was always slapping the other guys around, right? Because he had a bowl cut.
He was Mo. No, what was I gonna say? I bet if you probably went to Marvel right now, like something they probably have all the young guys do it. I could probably see like Dennis O'Neil like going to like Scott Snyder, like Scott, get over here. Sit down the hall. That's Dan's office. All right, just Dan Jurgens? Yeah, Dan Jurgens, not Dan Jurgens. Anyway, ask him anything. Just from here though, ask him anything. Like ask him what? Just his opinion on something. Like, hey Dan, yeah? You like pizza? Yeah, pizza's great! Alright, what was that all about? Keep asking him shit. Just keep asking him shit. Do you like the Beatles? Yeah, Beatles are awesome. I love the Beatles. Ask him what the 90s generation. Dan, do you like the 90s generation? Just pause. Just see the hallway. You see fucking chair get thrown out of the fucking room. You're like, don't ever mention the fucking 90s! Fuck! I hate the fucking 90s! Fucking trapper keepers, skateboards, long hair, sideways cap, bullshit! Stay the fuck away from my office, Scott! That's probably what happened if you ever mentioned.
That's why nobody ever mentions. You always see people always talk about, like, you watch special features on the Superman thing or whatever. You're watching even on the Doomsday movie one. They don't mention the fucking Mitchell kid.
Yeah, well, they mention that they felt that kind of like they almost feel like kind of guilt tripping you, like, this is who you are, you fucking little ungrateful pricks.
Yeah, this is your generation of comic book buyers.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's really, when it gets down to it, though, I think that's kind of like a shitty kid nearly in every generation. I mean, they just they said the 90s kind of whatever, thing. But
just
I think
the 90s kid.
There always is some ungrateful little prick like that, so,
He's like, whatever, fucking Superman, lame.
Yeah. So, but did you actually, I haven't had a chance to watch the special features on
I watched, they have a lot of special features on there. They got, like, at first I watched, like, the first, because, like, we got this double disc, like, the Steelbook one or whatever. And I really sat there. I was like, should I get I'll pay the extra $5. I don't want to kick myself later for not getting the super special edition one or whatever.
And me, I got like the Blu-ray pack that came with the DVD. I don't have a Blu-ray player yet, but eventually I will have one. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just buy it.
The DVD even have
comes with a DVD. The DVD, all it had was that Bruce Timm 2-minute like Superman short.
Well, they had that on the Blu-ray too, which I was kind of glad they had them. Like, oh, awesome! I got to watch that in really good quality on my TV.
And then a thing on Middle Earth.
Yeah, I was like, what the fucking bullshit is this?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not here to watch Hobbits. I'm here to watch
that weird thing
Superman.
Too is that, like, on the Hobbit Blu-ray, I was looking on the back of that.
They have a Superman thing?
No, they have that same thing on there too. It's just like, oh well. There's a little bit more room on the Superman disc. I just throw this on there.
Yeah. It's like, I'm buying a bunch of fucking Superman, not some Hobbit shit,
It's not even DC. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Hobbit a lot, but still, it's like one of those ones, like, I just felt like that seems so out of place.
Yeah.
I know it's both Warner Brothers, but still.
Well, even felt like I remember on Superman versus the Elites on that movie, they had, like, take a look at early stills from Dark Knight Rises. It's like, I know it's comics, but it's not...
Well, at least that's still DC.
It's still DC, but it's like... How about something Superman related,
Yeah.
But whatever.
But it actually has a lot of good special features on it. Like, one thing I thought, this was the coolest part I thought. They had one, it was doing it was talking about the stunts of Superman and whatnot, and it was about 22 minutes long, and for, like, the first 10 minutes, though, it just showed, like, all their workout routines and stuff. Mm-hmm. And, like, that's one thing you almost never see in movies. And that's one thing you're always watching, like, it'd be really cool in this Predator special features if they showed Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jesse Ventura and all these guys working out.
So you can learn from that?
Yeah, so you can learn from that. It's just like, you never see that. If you're lucky, you get like one shot. It's like, oh, look, there's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He picked up something and did a curl with it. Oh, look at that. It was...
While it has someone talking over, and it's kind of...
I know you got Pumping Iron, so you get like a lot of Arnold there. But, movie-wise, it's like you just want to... I've always felt like you want to see that. And another thing I always thought, too, is another place you never see that in is wrestling. It's like... Why the fuck? It's like they hide that, like, these guys don't work out. They're out, they only work
eating
out
pies the whole time.
Yeah, it's just like, I watched the entire, like, John Cena thing. It was one of his, like, documentary things, and it had, like, his workout routines. That was in there for about 5 minutes out of, like, a minute, or an hour and 40-minute long movie.
Was just, like, the workout routine of Henry Cavill and the guy and Michael Shannon, or was
it had Henry Cavill, Michael Shannon, the girl...
Plays Feora?
Yeah, the Feora girl, I can't remember what her name is. But had her doing her stuff.
Is her name on the top list over here?
Probably. It's like a German name. Look at the back.
I don't see her name as one of the top people on here. No, too bad. She's in the movie
It's funny because, like, when the way they talk about it, they're like, well, Russell Crowe, he's already an action star. It's like, I don't need to work out. My day involves working out. I'll Russell Crowe.
I'll have push-ups for breakfast.
I eat people who work out and I get stronger.
He just walks into a gym, does like, does the Kirby thing, just eats several people, just like...
Just eats a couple, there's a bunch of like martial arts dudes, just eats them.
That's how he got...
eat them, I will gain their power.
That's how he did the kung fu scene in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. But no, but that was just, it was like, yeah, there was literally about 10, 12 minutes of them, and it was just showing their stuff, and they chanted the same guy that did the 300, which makes sense, because it's Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
And it was cool, because it just showed their gym set was sweet. It was just like, it was like a big fat mat, and they had just dumbbells, kettlebells, barbells, and then a handful of body weight type exercises, nothing fancy, and a row machine that was shown a lot. Which I remember reading in the Muscle and Fitness when they had the Henry Cavill one. And it talked about, like, he's like, oh, he does, 5 minutes of row machine, then 5 minutes of intervals, and then at the very end he does a row machine. And then it showed that row machine a lot. It's like, boy, that guy really is like, you get on that fucking row machine.
It shows in that movie. He's fucking ripped. Because the other Superman, they were good, but, like, they looked like they were in good shape, but they did not look as good as Henry Cavill. That dude was fucking ripped.
Well, he was finally getting built up. Because, really, it's like one of those ones, like, even say comic book-wise, is by the time the 80s came around, it's like, well... Before, you kind of based them off, like, kind of like athletes, and then towards the 80s and 90s, it's like they were based off, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff, bodybuilders and big guys, so that's why, superheroes got bigger and bigger. And funny is, like, actor-wise, they still never kind of got big. Because if you think Batman's like, well, Michael Keaton.
Christian Bale got buff. He got buff.
Well, Christian Bale's buff, but he's more buff in, like, the old-fashioned sense.
He's like 70s buff. He's not
he's like athletic buff,
He's like
he's like Clint Eastwood buff, I guess you could say.
I guess he was like... Neil Adams. Neil Adams was the artist, right? Mm-hmm. It was kind of like Neil Adams, because Neil Adams kind of drew him like...
Blue Batman?
Yeah, he like drew... He's like basically 007 with a cape.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I think more Christian Bale is, and I think that works.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that does work, but it's like, you always kind of look for, like, where's the guy who's just, like, cute? Where's the Arnold Schwarzenegger who's playing, Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Mr. Freeze? Mm-hmm. It's funny, because it plays the one character who's not that buff, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's playing him. But yeah, it's like Henry Cavill is like, fine, there's a guy he can hold the Superman body. Don't get me wrong, I like all the other Superman actors. Mm-hmm. Christopher Reeves is amazing.
Yeah.
The guy in the last one.
Brandon Routh,
and then Dean Cain from like the TV show and whatnot. Which actually, was speaking of Superman too, I went back and I was watching before this one came out. I was watching my Superman set, like the rape edition, like the 15 disc.
It's just 1 through 4, or is it also Returns?
It's 1 through 4 and Returns, and it's
okay.
like the 4-disc version of 1, the 3-disc version of 2. And then 3, 4, then the 2-disc version of Superman, or a 3-disc version of Superman 3. Superman Returns. And then there's like a kind of like a hour and a half documentary just from like Superman from day 1 to 2005, whenever that came out. And then another big documentary.
I know you said they kind of go over like the building from like the canceled Superman movie to Superman Returns. Did they interview Kevin Smith at any point and talk about what he was going to make for his script and all that?
They hadn't yet on it because I haven't actually sat down and watched the Superman Returns like special features, but on the other one it just kind of was talking about like from Superman the couple years that went up for them to make it, the Richard Donner one and so on. Mm-hmm. I guess Richard Donner he even has this little intro on Superman, the Richard Donner cut, and he's just like. He's like, that other guy, I don't remember his name for a reason.
He's going to be on this DVD too at some point, probably.
Fuck him. Fuck him up his stupid ass. But this is my cut. I'm so glad that they found all this footage and put it together. Because you know what? That other cut is fucking shit. Fuck that guy. Enjoy my cut.
I'm Richard Donner and I approve this message.
Well, it's just kind of funny because you see all this like hate. It's like, and this is like, okay, it's like 35 years later. And I don't know if the director...
He still has
I don't think Richard Lester is like the guy who's to be blamed. It's probably like...
Some producer. Executive.
Well, it's like, the whole point they did it is because like... I think because like they made Superman 1 and 2 at the same time. And by the time that like they were getting done with Superman 1 and getting ready to release it, Superman 2 was like 75 to 80% done. Mm-hmm. And for some reason they just thought that like Richard Donner should just focus on the Superman 1 towards the end and just they brought the other guy in, which... One's like,
mm-hmm. It's probably not really Donner's. It was on the other guy.
I don't. The other director. I mean, it's probably somebody said, "Hey, you want to come over and direct Superman 2?" Be like,
"Fuck yeah!"
Yeah. What do you think I was gonna say?
Yeah. So it's one of those things. But I mean, you know, Donner, I guess it's kind of like we both fucked this chick, and there's a little bit of animosity there.
Yeah, I know.
I know that, like, if I probably got to know him, he's probably a decent guy.
I don't even though we have the same first name, I don't remember his fucking name.
If I got to know him, he's probably a decent guy. But just given this one thing in history, I'm sorry, I'm genetically inclined to dislike this guy.
But then, you know, I was watching Superman 2 again, and Superman 2's one's like, that's still a pretty good one. It doesn't hold up, I wouldn't say it nearly holds up as well as the first one. That first one just one's one, I think that movie's just fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. It holds up perfectly, you know, no matter what, I think it all works pretty well. The second one's, it's like, it's still good. You know,
I like number 2 more than 1, actually.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I like number 1 much more, I think. I think it's just because that one just has, just like the story-wise, it's just so strong, that one. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, too, because I was watching number 2, it's like, you know, okay, it doesn't have nearly as much, but Superman's still getting thrown through fucking buildings.
I'll say this real quick. I want to jump to Man of Steel for a second. Mm-hmm. When we were talking about it, we were saying there weren't people in the background. Don't ask me why. For some reason, on a giant screen,
I didn't see
people running around in the background and running and like just trying to avoid the collateral damage. Because I was watching a Superman fight the whole time.
And it was fucking badass.
Yeah. So, but watching on the screen, I was actually looking for it. Second time around, I was looking for it,
and I saw there was a lot of people.
There were a lot of people there. But I'll say this though. It's one of those things. People were making out to be like Zod would throw a car at Superman. He'd catch it, then like. People fill in the car.
And then you grab a person and use them like a baseball bat and block the car back.
People were making it out to sound like that, you know, and it was really just kind of like, I mean, I could see some injury stuff going on, but I don't really see anything to the level people were talking about. And at the same time, most of the damage caused was probably, was really Zod.
Well, and it's one of those ones like, I know sometimes people get really weird in movies. Like, I always feel like in movies, you always got to assume that there's these scenes that they're not said, but like, you should kind of get it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, people know that there's aliens here. Obviously know that there's this ginormous rape ship coming down. They're probably evacuating. I know it's one of those ones like people are there's a lot of dumb people out there that have to see every single thing, or else, in their opinion, it's like it must not happen. Mm-hmm. If they didn't show evacuation, then it's clearly not happening. I just assume it's like it's already kind of evacuated. Yes, there's still some stragglers behind.
I still think there are people there, and I think just most of the. I mean, it's. My thing is kind of like, if people don't like the movie, that's totally fine. Because everything's subjective. You can't really judge them for, like, if you didn't like the writing, you like the acting, and like pacing.
That's different, though.
That's all a matter of opinion. But the one thing, though, is like something that is a fact, though, is that amount of damage has happened in the cartoons and the comics.
Well, just ones like, I just remember, like, the second I heard that, I was like, it happens in the cartoon, happens in the comics, happens in the older movies, happens in the video games. It's like, it happens in every single thing, Superman, superhero-oriented whatsoever. Now, if
they just had a part where, like, a baby carriage was, like, right next to Superman, he grabbed baby carriage, started, like, beating Zod with it, yeah. I would understand. Or he's just, the people, like, fuck the people, and Superman starts joining Zod and starts zapping people. I'd understand that, but that didn't really happen.
There's one little scene in there, it's like, the scene probably could be expanded a little bit more, I think, for some people. I just simply didn't get it, but there is one scene that kind of explains it, because when he goes to save that helicopter pilot, you know, it's like, that's where they go, oh, we see what his weakness is. Mm-hmm. He cares about these people.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be the scene. But I think there should have been more like, Zod, you can't be doing this. There's people here. Let's take it somewhere else. Like kind of in Dragon Ball Z. And she's like, fine, whatever. Fuck it.
On some
I'm
desert
just here to
wasteland.
fight anywhere, yeah.
At some desert wasteland, you hear.
In Dragon Ball Z, there's a lot of like this open territory.
With kind of like a John Carpenter type score, like synthesized, like. Yeah. But no, I think that would have killed momentum, but I'll say this. The whole thing with Michael Shannon at the end, when he finally loses his shit, because, believe me, I mean, it's kind of like, I want Superman to win. But the end, because I watched the movie 3 times, and...
Since you got it on DVD?
Yeah. And...
Wow.
I watched it twice, and then I went and rewatched my favorite parts. Mm-hmm. So, I guess 2.5, technically. But, the part when Michael Shannon, when he's left there, and there's that little... like area, just kind of like just a hole like in the middle of the city, mm-hmm. and he's just sitting there, and he just kind of gives that like it's not so much like an evil speech, but it's more of kind of like he looks like he's two things. He's like on the verge of tears, and he's about to skull fuck Superman at the exact same time, and he just holds up because that's one of those moments right there that's kind of like you don't feel incredibly sorry for him because you know he wants to destroy the world, but at the same time. You understand where he's coming from.
I just want a home.
Yeah. Well, just the way he says it too. He's almost explaining to a child. He's like, that is my purpose, to serve my people. And now, he just chokes up for a second, I have no people, you know? So it's just, he's almost just like, let me explain this to you before I rip your heart out through your asshole, you know? So he just the raw hatred, and I just love that part right there.
That's great. Yeah. You know, really, I only have one complaint in that movie. You know, and it's like, I accept a lot of those other things. But the one thing that complains to me is, like, Amy Adams, her hair should just be, she's fine as Lois Lane. I mean, I don't think she's the best choice. I think you could have because she almost feels like Lana Lane if Lana Lane, she doesn't look like Lois Lane. Like, but she does play, her acting-wise, it's all fine. They just should have dyed her, and it's once like, you're an actor. This, you know what I mean? Like, you're not a model who's like, you can't touch my hair. It's like, you're an actor. This is what...
I'm not sure if it was her or producers.
Well, the only thing I can assume, because I know that, like, because really, if you think about that movie,
like
Superman's Superman. There's nothing really different about him. But everybody else is like, they try to, it's almost like they try to change it a little too much. It's like Perry White being black, that's fine. He's Morpheus. Like,
I think Lawrence Fishburne did an amazing job. Yeah,
and especially just they're like, oh, Lawrence Fishburne, he's like the biggest comic book fan ever on the set. You know, he likes more than Zack Snyder does. But and you know, the one I went to is like the Jimmy Olsen, like the Jenny Olsen.
She Jimmy.
That's also one too. It's like, why? I don't get. It's like, we have female characters. It's not like it's like Johnny Quest or something, which is this all man. It's not like Lois is a man and Superman's a man and Perry's a man. It's just this, like, and Jimmy, and they're just all like these guys, just like, man town.
Bro night.
Yeah. It's like there's female characters strung throughout Superman, so I don't see what's the reason to create another one. The Jenny one doesn't bother me nearly as much. I feel like in the long run, it's gonna, like, in this movie,
maybe she'll have a brother named Jimmy.
Yeah, hopefully that's, even though she's like Indian, so I don't know how she's gonna have like here's my adopted Irish brother. It's like one of those ones, so it's like, but it's just that the thing is like, Amy, when I look at it, I just go, that's not Lois. It's just, to me, it's just, I have a hard time believing that's Lois, just because it does not look like her whatsoever.
That's probably my biggest complaint.
And I think the thing too is, because Lois and Superman are the iconic characters. You can kind of make everybody else look a little bit different. You know, Mom, Pa, Kent. They can always be, you know, they can either look grandma, they can either look younger, they can look hippie. It's kind of like, and I think of like Ultimate Spider-Man, you know what I mean? Like Aunt May
was kind of a hippie.
That works, because that's just, you know, that kind of character can be changed. But you don't change Spider-Man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and Lois to me is just as big as Superman. Really, that's the other big character, is, you know... The three biggest characters that you really can't change, I feel, is Lex, Lois, and Superman.
And I think that, yeah, I mean, maybe hopefully the next one, she says, oh, this is my real hair. Because that's in Smallville. I know that's way different. But in Smallville, for a while, Lois was a blonde. But then she had brown hair. It's like, oh, yeah, I was just dyeing my hair the whole time.
You're bleaching it?
Yeah. So hopefully they do that.
I can't imagine doing that. I really feel like that's one of those ones we're just kind of stuck with this for the moment. I know it's one of those ones, and you really think about it, it's like these things always come back, because once they try something kind of like, when they try to do it like, let's go, you know, way out left wing here and try something different, they always will come back to the classic thing later on. Because, you know, they'll do a couple of these movies and they'll go back and let's make a classic Superman movie now.
Yeah.
You know, give him the fucking red Speedo again, give him all this stuff, you know.
That's my only real complaint about the movie is Amy Adams, her hair color, which I know that's a small thing.
It sounds like a small thing, but like when every single time I'm looking, it almost distracts from the, like, I get distracted when I watch it, because I'm just like, that's just not Lois. I look at it and it's like, it's not her acting, it's not, you know, her face, she doesn't really have a Lois face, she has, because she looks like a country girl. You know, it was just one of those, it's like, go get a fucking Italian girl, she has dark hair, just get, it's like, how, it's like, or just dye her hair black, I mean, it's a movie!
Or brown, for that matter, you know?
Or just real dark brown, you know? Yeah. Just that kind of like auburny hair. It's not Lois. That's
something I want to talk about. I really like that character. I like what they did with Feora.
I like her. She's great in that movie. Like, my second time, because at first I watched her, I was like, oh yeah, she's good. But the second time watching her, it's like, she's one of the best parts of that movie.
And the thing about her, though, when I think
she fucking could have played Lois Lane.
She could have played Lois Lane.
She should have just played both characters. It's been like an Eddie Murphy thing.
I could have. She's like in a fat suit or some shit.
What was that?
No, but the thing, like, I'll say this, I'm not trying to discredit her. It's going to sound like I'm complaining, but I mean this I'm going to come back around to it. The thing about Feora is the way she plays it, she kind of plays it like she's unimpressed and she's bored the whole time. And that sounds like I'm complaining, but I think that really works for the character, because and plus on top of it, it's like one of the easiest things to write, and at the same time it's probably pretty easy to act, but the combination of being you're bored and unimpressed but yet you have all these superpowers and you can't really be stopped. That just makes, plus she has the hot goth chick thing going on. All that combined makes a really awesome character, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't really just say goth. I think just because she has dark hair.
Well, didn't she have kind of like black eyeshadow, and then plus with the, I mean, I know that armor,
suit, but...
and plus with the black armor, it just gives it that look. I know it's not, but it looks like
what she said in the special feature. She's like, I came from communist Germany, and we didn't really have we knew what Superman was, but you just didn't see it very often. So she's like, it kind of worked for the movie because it's kind of like once I didn't have this like background that everybody else has, like, oh my gosh, Superman. So it's kind of like when I see him, I can have this feeling of like a natural feeling. I'm not nearly as impressed as everyone else is. So it made it work for the character.
Well, when she like, for instance, when she's like fighting all the soldiers in Smallville, she just kind of she just seems so fucking cold and just so kind of like demeaning to everybody, and she did like a really great job in the movie. When I first saw, like, oh yeah, she's good, but second time around, like, oh wow.
One thing I have to say is if people have to complain about Superman fighting through the city, what about the fucking army that just starts unloading on Smallville? I didn't notice at first. I was just like, oh, but it's like they fucking just come down Main Street, just guns a-blazing, and they drop a fucking bomb.
And then there's also the part like when they're when the Jets are going after the plow machine, and the gravity wave throws up. You literally see a missile. You follow the missile. It literally goes down the street and hits a crowd of people. You literally see that.
Really, the military is the one killing a bunch of people in this movie. If you have to complain about anything, other than Zod and everyone.
And I don't. Yeah, I mean, if like I said, you don't have to like the movie, but I just don't understand the complaint about too much damage, because that damage is happening in the comics and in the cartoons.
If you weren't a Superman fan and you just went there to watch the movie, I could see where you're complaining. But when I hear it from somebody who's like, they read the comics, I almost kind of go like, well, you clearly didn't read the comics or play the video games or watch the TV show or even the old movies very well then. Because it's in everything. I can't think of a single Superman thing that it's not in. And it's just,
There's a lot of complaints about him snapping Zod's neck at the end, but I don't really have a... Maybe I would have a problem with that, but the thing is, and I know this has been rebooted, it's been changed since then, but Superman killed Doomsday, and I guess it's kind of like that thing in Batman. He says, if I kill one, then what's stopping me from killing everybody else?
But I always feel Superman the one thing Superman does have is he has that, where Batman's like, I will find a way no matter what, hell or high water. I will. We're kind of like Superman's... Even though I noticed they're kind of like, it feels like they're almost sort of changing that too, because as I said with the Green Arrow TV show, like, even though as the show went on, he doesn't really kill people very often, but at first it was fucking just killing people left and right. I was like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck are you doing? Green Arrow, like he probably killed like 2 people in all of his run. He really hasn't killed that many people. He's kind of like Superman. It's like there's those couple times he did. Everybody fucking remembers that. Like Batman brings it up like, well, raise a hand if you never killed nobody. He puts his hand up. Oh, I see that I'm the only good. Martian Manhunter, what the fuck? No. But, Jesus Christ, that's really fuck. Maybe I have to go and kill somebody. I don't know if I want to be in this crowd anymore. Pussies. Well, no. But it's one of those ones like that part. It makes sense because just one of those ones. There's just so much destruction. I think Superman just getting to points like I just have to end this, or more people are gonna die. And plus, they also ended in a way that like he is really distraught and sad that he had to kill him. Yeah. You see that. We're even in the... Don't get me wrong, I love Superman 2. But really, Lois Lane just sort of like, guess what, cunt? I don't fucking like you. Punches the bitch in the face. She falls off. She falls to her death. They have the happy music. Superman just smiles and nods. Like, yeah, whatever, it happens. He's like, I know I just killed a couple people in my own house, but fuck it. I mean, it wasn't really me, but I kind of... Yeah. I didn't pull the trigger, but I loaded the gun. You know? Now, I love that movie. I'm not going to down the movie for that. But it's one of those things, though, that, like... Well, that's also weird when people complain about the 2. It's like, well, they did that in Superman 2, and so it's going to bother you that he killed him in Superman this one? It's just... Yeah. And strange enough, I feel like the killing sort of works better, I think, in a movie than it does in the comics. Because in the comics, you got to kind of have the characters come back, and I know you can always find a way. But in a movie, I always feel like it's almost like, case closed, let's go on to the next character. Yeah. So if a character dies in the movie, I think that's not as big of a deal as if it dies like on a TV show or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. Well, Nightwing's apparently going to be in the next one. That's bad. They're rumoring it. That's a rumor going around. So, and Kevin Smith said he was doing like I heard on one of his podcasts. He was helping do a promotional thing for the DVD, and they were talking to Scott Snyder. Not Scott. Zack Snyder and the Man of Steel DVD. No. The Blu-ray.
he was doing a promotional for it, just doing interviews. He was talking to Henry Cavill, Michael Shannon, Zack Snyder, maybe David S. Goyer, Amy Adams, and I think maybe the chick that played Feora. I don't know. I didn't see the thing, but he was just talking about it. And he said when the thing was done, like Zack Snyder took him aside, like, want to see something fucking awesome? He pulls out his phone.
He pulls out his dick.
He actually said that. He said that he showed me his dick, and he says, "You want to be in Superman versus Batman?"
Suck this dick.
He says, and I would have too. He made that same joke. Ralph Garman cut him off and said that. No, but he goes on. He says like he pulled out and he showed me the bat suit. Not only the bat suit, he showed me Ben Affleck in the bat suit. And he says that it's kind of like a certain type of bat suit that we wanted to see in the movies, but have because for the longest time the bat suit was always just black and looked like it had armor. This one actually looks like it's out of the comics.
Oh, that's badass then. Because that's the
I'm
one.
guessing like an Arkham Asylum type suit.
That'd be
like
sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, that's cool then.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. That's really one. I'm looking really forward to that.
I'm really looking forward to it too. Yeah, it's one of those things at that point. It's so far away. So
yeah, it's one of those ones. It's like you almost kind of it's like in dreamland at the moment.
Yeah.
Till then, I mean, we got like the DC like War comes out.
Yeah, which doesn't come out till February.
Yeah, I know. I remember I was like that's got to be coming out in November, right? That's when they said it was, and I looked up, I was like, oh, 2014.
They must know what they're doing.
That's okay. There's nothing ever wrong with holding things back. People always complain about that, but it's like whenever they delay something, it's only because they're making it better. Mm-hmm. That's all what it means, really.
Which, going back to this, did they ever delay Arkham Origins?
No.
All right.
Exactly. And that game probably should have been released during the same time as Justice League War.
Yeah.
But they'll probably... I think that they put a patch out, just I went online to go look
They
for
probably
that.
did, but they still not... Some people...
Yeah.
Some people can't get internet access where they live.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's all I'm saying. There's a lot of trees around here.
Well, back to Man of Steel, there's a lot of pretty good special features. I mean, it's got, you run the mill, like... Look at... Because this movie kind of has that same, like, Zack... Whenever you watch Zack Snyder special features, it's like, oh, it just looks like you guys are all... playing in a green screen room with like very hokey looking costumes and whatnot.
Investors were like, this we fucking put millions of dollars into. When they first saw 300, like,
well, it's weird because like,
can we see the dailies of 300 and just a bunch of dudes in plastic swords running at each other?
300. I mean, when you watch special features, like Jesus Christ, I could not imagine like if it produced by going fuck. What is this?
When they actually saw it, they'd be like, oh,
whoa, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one kind of has like, I didn't realize that like their actual armor on Krypton is all like CG.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really good CG.
They literally are just wearing like, just kind of like this black and gray suit, and they have little pieces on top like right next to like I guess where they are so that can move. But everything else, that's all Russell Crowe, Michael Shannon, all those characters, all that armor is not real.
No, that's pretty good CG then. I thought that was all real.
So yeah, so pretty much all that is all Krypton is a couple guys standing around on a green screen, and then they fill it all in later.
Oh wow!
It's got some interesting special features when you watch it like that. You're like, oh, that's.
Well, that armor. Well, the thing about that is, I guess it makes sense because you got to take into account. I mean, I know back in high school, I'm like, oh, just make it, just put the money down. I know it'd be like that, but really, when you think about it, that armor, it would be one of two things. A, it would look very cheap and probably like break apart easily during that kung fu fight they got going on.
I think if they made it's a movie, I know they probably could make it. It's just for everyone's once.
Or it'd be like to get that certain design, it would probably be hard to move in because that was the problem with a lot of the Bat costumes. Batman until Dark Knight couldn't turn his head.
Yeah.
So now like they had to find ways around that, and I think that that armor right there probably
yeah, it makes him move probably more fluidly and whatnot.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of special features. I remember because I was looking, I was like, okay, I watched the first disc and I was like, okay, there was about like an hour's worth of special features on there, and I was like, and it fucking says over 4 hours, and then I was like, okay, well, there's a second disc, which I thought was just like that exclusive one. But I'm like, oh, I see where it is. They got like on the second disc they have the whole movie, and they got like you probably never seen it before because it's only on Blu-rays, but there's the Zack.
Rub it in.
Zack Snyder, I don't think he did on 300 because I just have the DVD of that one, but on all the other ones up, he has like this kind of like I call it Zack Snyder commentary because I don't see it on any other movie, where it's like an audio commentary, but instead like the movie's playing and then Zack Snyder like pushes the screen over and goes, "Hey fellas, how's it going today? I'm Zack Snyder. Let me tell you a bit about the scene." And then they'll pull up stuff, and it's like more like a very interactive.
Is he really reaching up, pulling things
he
down?
literally will do that because I watched the Sucker Punch one all the way through, and like he literally did that.
I watched a lot of Iron Man before I decided to do this. Like he's just moving like hologram.
And then like they'll show like there'll be like picture-in-picture type stuff. Like, well, here's what it looks like, without all the special effects on, or here's like some drawings of it, and they just kind of do different stuff throughout it. The Sucker Punch one was kind of weird because it must have been like still at the when he was first trying this out, because it would kind of go off for like something like 5 minutes and then he'd come back on again. It was kind of like okay, but this one I didn't watch the whole thing. I was like, okay, I don't have 2 hours and like 40 minutes to sit here and watch all this, but like in time I'll get to that one. And then there was like 3 other special features on that I did too. So there's quite a bit on there. It is pretty packed jammed with a lot of stuff.
I'm probably gonna wait. I'm not gonna get it right away because A, there's not a whole lot of games out for it, and B, it's still
PS4 just came out on
PlayStation
yesterday.
4 came out. I'm probably for my Blu-ray player. I think I'm probably just gonna get that. I think I'll just get that.
I say that they did have that $58 one.
Yeah, I know. But...
And those are sometimes kind of nice to have because then it's just a straight up Blu-ray player, nothing more, nothing less. You don't have to spend that much money. I'm almost thinking about getting it because my fucking Blu-ray player is one of those original ones, and it likes to fuck up a lot. It plays great. It does a great job playing DVDs, but sometimes Blu-rays every once in a while I just have a hard time playing some of them.
Yeah, I know. And I'm just. Oh yeah, wait. Are you talking about like your? You're just saying Blu-ray.
My Blu-ray. The Blu-ray player I have.
Okay.
It's like a Samsung one, but it just kind of has like.
I thought you were talking about PlayStation 3 for a second. I'm like, you have a PlayStation 3, but like.
No, not yet. I'm almost saying well, PlayStation 3s are gonna drop. I can finally go out and get Metal Gear Solid 4 like I've always wanted.
Well, is PS4 backwards compatible with PS3 games?
At the moment, it is, but that's what PS3 said too. When PS3 first came out, it could play PlayStation 1 and 2 games, and then after a while,
fuck yeah,
yeah. And I really want to say, if I trace back the reason I never bought a PS3, I want to say is because once they canceled that backward, it sounds weird. They can't play PlayStation 1 and 2s. I own fucking 4 PlayStation 1s and a PlayStation 2.
And that stopped.
And for some reason, I almost want to say that was like, well, fuck you guys. Even though the Xbox kind of does like a half-assed job. It's like, we do play some games backwards. A few, like 1/5 of our library. Yeah. Well, you can play like Halos, which is cool. You can play Ninja Gaiden. You can play Dead or Alive.
You play Crimson Skies.
You can play, You can play all the Microsoft games. You can play Shenmue 2, which is pretty cool. But you couldn't play like My Crazy Taxi, like that one. It's got all 3 of them on it. I couldn't play that one. That sounds really weird, but that was a fucking big deal to me. I was like, what the fuck?
Did they make some kind of futuristic Crazy Taxi game? Like a 3rd or 4th one?
No. The 3rd one kind of looks kind of futuristic because it's in Las Vegas. But
okay.
Which really, when it gets down to it, it's all about Crazy Taxi 1. The other ones are cool, but...
They're the same thing, really, when it gets down to it.
The first one's fucking amazing.
They're all good games, but they're kind of the same thing when it gets right down.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of cool. Like you can jump in the second one. It sounds weird, but you can.
I like the characters more in the first one.
Yeah, the characters are better in the first one. I like the location in the first one. The cool thing about like if you get the Xbox one though, like they call it Crazy Taxi High Roller, is it because all the games have like Offspring music and whatnot, and then a couple other bands always. You can play all the music from all 3 of them just like on one game though.
Oh, all right.
So your soundtrack's like instead of just having like the 3 Offspring songs from the first one or whatever.
Where 2 had a lot more Offspring
songs. And then 2 other ones, you got like 10 Offspring songs. I know nowadays, like, whatever, plug my MP3 player in.
Yeah. I was wondering about this. We'll get back to DC stuff, because we got a lot of DC stuff to talk about today. But I was wondering about this. Remember that movie Taxi with Queen Latifah that came out?
I think that was originally supposed to be the Crazy Taxi movie.
Because before, they were talking about a Crazy Taxi movie coming out. And it never did. But a movie called Taxi about Queen Latifah, who's a wild and crazy taxi driver, with Jeremy Renner. Not Jeremy.
No, it was Justin Long.
Not Justin Long.
What?
Jeremy Piven. I mean, it was Jeremy Piven. No, not Jeremy Piven. It was
somebody with a J name.
He runs the Tonight Show. What's his name? Is it Jimmy Piven?
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. Okay. Yeah, Jimmy Fallon. So who's the one that? There's a lot of Jimmys that run the Night Show. There's like
Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Kimmel, not Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. All right, yeah, it was Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah, and I remember that, yeah. And I was wondering, is that like, I was wondering if like they just said, we don't really, this has nothing really that in common other than the fact that it's a taxi driver. We can just change this shit and save some money.
Well, what? I think about it like a crazy. If you just kind of would have made like a story based off those 4 main characters, it's just like almost like
a day in the life.
Yeah, just these 4 guys, and this is their job. You got BD Wong and Axel and
There's a girl in there somewhere.
Yeah, there's the chick with the red hair, and then there's the old guy who's like balding. It's just like right there, fuck it. That's like a sitcom right there. You could make a good movie out of that. Just these guys.
They're street they all have to. They all got to make their fare for the day, and they're all going against each other.
Yeah, and they're all competing against each other.
Almost we're trying to ram each other off the road and stuff like that.
But it's kind of it's kind of like the semi like action comedy. But then you kind of throw maybe some drama in it.
Then you get like the cops chasing them as they're all just trying to make their fare that day or whatever.
I feel like you could take, because sometimes I think the simplest, like something that doesn't really have an actual story in it, that should just be an instant. Just take the fucking characters, take like their personalities from the game, and expand on that.
Like the guys who did like Crank directed.
Yeah, exactly. Just make it an action comedy of some sort. You know, maybe not like action like guns and stuff, but more like. Oh, don't even make it an action comedy. Just make it like a comedy drama of some sort, like where it's just about these guys' lives. And they're like, we're taxi cab drivers.
I think you gotta have some crazy action in there at some point.
Well, yeah, you'd have some car chases, and you'd have like you know, he's like, oh god, I gotta get the fare on time, so he fucking goes up like through like a 10-car parking lot garage and jumps off the top.
Or one of them pulled over somebody who's like has a hit on him, so they got all these other cars chasing him through town or something like that.
Just that could be a cool movie.
Yeah, so that could work. But no, what was I gonna say?
There's actually this movie I just want to say, because it kind of reminded me, because I saw it when I went to go buy something or the other, like a month or so ago. But there was this movie called, it must not come out theatrically, because I never heard about it in theaters, but there's a movie called Empire State. Have you ever heard about this one?
I heard the name.
It has The Rock and then Liam Hemsworth in it.
Okay.
Which is confusing because his character's name is Chris.
It's named after his brother.
Yeah. It's a kind of cool movie. It's a true story based off of in the 80s. Based off this guy Liam Hemsworth who he's like, I got you a job or whatever. So he takes a security guard job. He wanted to be on the police force, but they denied him. So he's like, I'll take the security guard job. He's like, okay, you gotta like fucking take this money. He's pretty much just a guy who's like, okay, we drive a money truck around.
You said there's Lawrence Fishburne's in it?
No.
Okay.
Just The Rock.
Oh, The Rock.
And Liam Hemsworth.
Where did I get the Lawrence Fishburne? I'm thinking of something else. Okay, but yeah, go ahead.
And it's got the, okay, you know when, I can't remember the kid's name, but, he's not a fucking kid anymore either, too, but he just still looks like one. But, in Lords of Dogtown, you know, like the kid that has, like, cancer or whatever?
Uh-huh.
That kid's in it, and he's, like, the stupid friend that kind of, like, just says shit.
Oh, okay.
So what happens is, like, he's like, okay, I gotta do the, you know, I gotta guard these bank trucks. And then he's got this guy, and the guy's like, yeah, you know, these guys never watch their money. They're fucking idiots, you know. It's like, there's like $25 million down there, but they never counted or whatnot. And he's like, oh, that's interesting. And then they get robbed, and that guy gets killed, and then Liam Hemsworth doesn't do anything. He just kind of sits like, oh my god. And he gets shot.
Oh. And he gets
shot, he's just like, oh, they went away. And the guy's like, you fucked up. You get the night shift now. Now you gotta sit here and watch cameras, you fucking pussy. That's why we gave you a fucking gun, is to shoot people that have other guns. So he gets this job, and then after a while, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking take. Like, he takes this bag of like $25,000. Nobody notices it because the camera security is all shitty and whatnot. Keep in mind, it's still based on like a true story. And then that kid from Lords of Dogtown, he's like, man, you should fucking steal more, man. Like, you know, I'll go in there with you and steal it, man. And he tells all these other, like, mob guys, he's like, yeah, dude, well, you know, Liam Hemsworth over there, he's fucking stealing money. How badass is that? He's like, dude, what the fuck, man? Why are you telling them this? He's like, I don't know. You told me. I thought you meant if you told me, you wanted me to tell everybody else.
I'm that guy!
He literally is. He's like, I'm that guy. He's like, you're probably wondering why you're friends with me. Yeah, I know why your dad fucking hates me and tells me to leave every single time. So that guy, and he was like, no, and Liam Hemsworth was like, no, fuck that. Like, it's like I got that $25,000.
I see this guy stand there the whole time, no matter what the story, just standing there with a stupid, like, open mouth smile, just kind of looking around, not blinking.
Well, what he did is he originally stole that $25,000 because that guy who died was supposed to get like a pension for like his family and whatnot, and they gave him like $500, and he's supposed to get like, you know, $20,000 or something like that. So he's like, or $10,000. So he stole it and then gave it to the wife and the kids and whatnot, and then kind of kept the other $15,000. But so they end up robbing this bank. Let's just get down to it. Like, the whole point is they rob the bank, and The Rock's like the police officer in charge of this case. And they take, I think, $16 million or whatever, and they end up splitting it up, and then people end up dying. And the whole turnaround of the story is that he gets arrested, and it's a real story in New York, this bank called Empire. And apparently, the guy was, you know, it was in the 80s, like maybe 85, and he's arrested up until like him and the fucking Lords of Dogtown kid get released in 1991, and then it shows the real guy, and he's like, and they never found the other 9 million.
Really?
Yeah, and the guy's like, I don't know what it is. Well, just like, clearly you do. You just went through. You just waited your time.
Well, that's worth it though. Got 9 million waiting for you.
It was one of the boosters like, oh, because I didn't realize it was a true story. At first, it was just kind of like, oh, there's Tom Brokaw.
Unless they pull a
and
Fargo.
He's got dark hair, yeah.
Unless they pull a Fargo. This shit's based on a true story when it's really not.
Oh, yeah.
Which before I wouldn't question that, but after Fargo, now I always question it.
Yeah, now you kind of question. Well, this one had the real guy and whatnot. It didn't say, like, this was based on a true story, but you kind of got it as it went along. Like, oh, whoa, what the fuck? It was interesting. I don't know why that didn't come to theaters, though. It's like, it seems like...
Didn't it go to theaters?
I didn't go to major theaters.
Yeah.
Huh. Probably, well, even though I know nowadays, though, a lot of movies just kind of... It's cheaper just to kind of go, well... The movie didn't cost us a ton of money to make.
I know Liam Hemsworth is trying to keep up with his brother. I know he's having...
And he really... Like, they look identical. I mean, I feel like any role that one can play, the other one can play.
One looks like Thor, one's Thor Jr.
Yeah, that's really all it is. It just looks like Thor in training.
If we ever need to have, like, a Thor, like, you know, like, prequel or something like that. You know?
Yeah, Liam Hemsworth could play it. But, yeah, I mean, really, you look at them nowadays, it's like they've kind of, like, evened out, so they really don't look that different. You know, if you just got Liam Hemsworth a little bit more buff, I mean, they look identical almost.
One was in Thor, one was in Paranoia. That's her difference right there.
Yeah. That's interesting.
But, yeah. And then he was also in Expendables 2. He was a guy down in Expendables 2.
Yeah, there's a guy who was like, oh, this guy probably be the next... Oh, no.
There he goes.
He's dead, he's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was one of those things because he was in Hunger Games, or so like
this will bring in that.
I didn't see it, but he was in Hunger Games. Like this will bring in the ladies, and like, oh yeah, Liam Hemsworth. He dies. Like this is a man's movie, you know.
Hunger Games. When I look at the trailers, of those movies, it's like people tell me that they're good movies, but I look at the trailers and to me, it just looks like a pretty person movie. It just looks like Hollywood bullshit pretty person movie. And
it doesn't look horrible. I mean,
I don't say it looks horrible, but I just look at it. Just kind of has like when you have that look, like those people like, look at me, I'm so sexy, and it's just all the poses are always people like trying to look. They look perfect. It's like that's because that's the same way that Twilight's advertised.
Yeah,
Twilight's not advertised like it's a
fiction.
vampire movie. It's advertised like look at these 5 pretty people.
Yeah, like that is kind of like young adult, like fantasy, science fiction stuff is advertised usually. But
I like my covers like fucking Machete, which is this rough and tumble looking guy on it, like. Ugh.
I can't really judge Hunger Games. I wasn't in a rush to see it because I love Battle Royale so much.
Oh yeah, and then it's just kind of like I mean I know it's kind of done its own thing by now.
It's a science fiction thing, but
because I think probably the person just watched Battle Royale and went, "That's a good idea. I'm just gonna kind of expand on that in my own universe," which we all know everybody does that, so you can't really judge somebody for.
And people I wouldn't expect to say Hunger Games was good say it was good.
I bet you it's a good movie, but I guess it's the way that it's marketed. I just look at it and it's like that pretty, or whatever they call it, like the sexy version. That kind of deteriorates me. I'm like,
I think because everybody looks so clean shaven, especially for being in poor districts.
And that guy's got kind of like his hair flops up.
I don't even know who that guy is.
I don't know who he is either. But when I saw that preview, it was like, this guy is making me not want to see this movie.
I'll say this: I do like Jennifer Lawrence. I do think she's a good actress. I do enjoy her.
What else was she in?
She was in Silver Linings Playbook.
I didn't see that one.
I saw that. That was actually a pretty good movie. She was also in whatchamacallit? I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on Dark Knight Rises. She was Holly Robinson in that.
Oh.
She was also actually here's one you know. She played young Mystique in X-Men First Class.
First Class, okay. Okay,
and
she'll be back. Pretty good then.
She'll be back in the new X-Men movie.
Huh.
So,
but I guess I don't know what it is. It's one of those trailers. I look at the poster, and it's just to me, it just has that.
You got Woody Harrelson with a wig.
He's in that movie.
Woody Harrelson's in that movie.
Oh, that's cool. Then.
He's like the Obi-Wan Kenobi type figure from what I've been told.
Hey, as well as movies, they're probably all good movies. It's like I'm not denying that. I guess just the advertising I see.
You just don't like the clean. You don't like the clean cut. Super.
Well, I guess to me it's just like when you think like the term like a Hollywood movie, that's what I picture right there.
Everyone's. I can't judge it because, like I said,
I'm not saying like I'm judging the movie. Yeah. I'm just judging like I guess the marketing and the way that it's like being sold and who its target audience is.
Something I know what it's about is generally it's kind of like. They have like there's like there's a big rich district, and then they got all these poor divisions, and the rich district for their entertainment like pulls a random name out of a hat or something. It says, okay, one person from each poor district is gonna go in, and you guys are gonna battle for our entertainment, and then whoever wins gets like
so it's like high class bum fights.
Yeah, gets shit for your colony or something. And I guess that's what the first one's about, and I guess the second one's about trying to start an uprise against the poor districts, against the rich district.
Huh.
That's what I've been told. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones that, like, someday I'll probably have to sit down and watch him because I've heard good things. I've never heard somebody go like, "That's fucking shit. Don't even waste your time with it."
Yeah. Plus, it's kids killing each other. So I mean, in Battle Royale, we get the really violent kids killing each other. So I'm already guessing that's probably gonna be cooler. But Hunger Games, who knows? It might be good. I'll check it out at some point.
Someday. Yeah.
But something we
get to it. Someday.
Yeah.
Fucking,
That's the unsure. Like,
that day once I finished watching all those other movies I have in that stack.
Yeah. No, believe me, it's not the top of the list, but you know.
But you know, it was at the top of the list. It was fucking amazing. Like a must-have collection was Batman Volume 3. I keep calling it Batman Court of Owls. I'm like, that. It's almost like Sky's
the Court of Owls.
That's not what the series is called. I know that was the first two, but
sort of 3 because we thought that middle ground one that has
the Night of Owls.
We thought it was like 3. We thought like it's already out. We got it like.
Well, I thought that was number 2, and I was like,
yeah,
because they really kind of lie to you on that one. Because whose fucking names are on the cover? Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo.
Yeah,
and they only
it just says Batman on it. It
two or three stories in it, and there's fucking like, you know that everybody else is like, yeah. We work at DC here too. We put in just as much fucking time as these two fucks.
There's already 7 like books based in like. Around
Somebody's gonna write Batgirl over here. Somebody does.
Somebody's gotta write Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Someone's gotta do the coloring for Birds of Prey. No, I'll be honest. I'm not trying to give those guys shit. I'd be very envious to have any job in comics right now.
I'd take Birds of Prey.
Shit, I'd take fucking...
I'd love to have Birds of Prey. I feel like I could write some good shit with that one.
Shit, if I could, if it meant getting into the comic industry, I'd take Betty and Veronica. Fuck it, you know?
I feel like I could write good shit for that too. They'd probably kick me out day one. Dude, I would write the fucking Jimmy Olsen comic.
I would write that. Shit, yeah.
That would be bad. I feel like those ones, to me... The comics that sound coolest to write are the ones that are like the weirder characters.
The like the backstory ones.
You know, it's like, don't get me wrong.
Like, here's a story about
writing a Superman or a Batman or an X-Men comic would be cool, but I really think writing those just random ass characters, so it's like
when they do like an artsier approach, like here's like a view of a guy who makes weapons for supervillains, who it's kind of artsier take, and he gets killed by someone he works for at the end of it. Something like that.
A 3-issue miniseries of some sort.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but in the back issue, there's a back issue I read somewhere. It was like, I think it may have been in Flash. There was a guy who made weapons for like different supervillains to try and get by, and Flash was gonna bust them. Then he realized he had a kid. It was Christmas Day, and he kind of helped Flash later in the night or something like that. So
that's cool.
It's kind of like they'll have weird kind of little back issues like that. So
I like those ones.
Mm-hmm. Like, fuck, I'll take the small shit. If it means just getting into the comics, yeah.
Okay, yeah, find me.
But you know those guys be like, fuck, I gotta, you know.
Well, I always say just like, why is their names on the fucking cover? Like, shouldn't it be all of ours? Well, one thing that always bothers me, like in comics that I always see, is just because they always put the guy who writes it and the guy who pencils it. Never, and the guy from doing any coloring myself and drawing, the inking and the coloring take way more time.
They do. They do.
You could write and fucking draw, and it would take you less time than it would to do just one ink or one color for the thing.
And that's why I feel bad about those guys.
And those guys, I just feel like those guys get. And
don't get me wrong.
And really, you know what's another job? I don't think as much nowadays, but back in the day, that's really also got kind of shop was the guy who did the lettering.
I was just to say, yeah,
because that guy would go in there and handwrite every single one, and then he always drew all like
you know, be fucked up, like God damn it, you know.
Oh yeah, but he probably just take another circle and put it on, or white out, but yeah, and then you know, because even though nowadays you can't think about there's no more like pows and explosions and there are on some of them, but you don't see it. I was in this one Batman, perfect example, Batman Volume 3. There's none of that in there.
And now,
so you know the letter guy really kind of like, okay, I guess.
You get a little bit of Volume 3, just enough, nothing that takes up the whole page. They're a little bit more just subtle. But if it's important to the story, like with the part when it's in the dark and Joker is snapping all the necks, you see a crack.
Oh yeah, you see a couple.
You hear it. You see it here and there.
I feel like that guy really kind of like, oh, my job's kind of a little bit less now.
Like Adobe Photoshop Elements is taking your job.
Yeah.
No, they still got some of the slunks and shinks.
Yeah, there's a couple.
But they don't really.
They're not in there as much as they would used to be. Yeah, there's a
couple.
Yeah,
like the boom right there. That one's it's a lot smaller than what it probably used to be, and that you could tell that's something they did like in Photoshop or something.
Yeah. One thing I think is really cool about this book, like the first thing I noticed, the cover.
Yeah,
that cover really stands out to me. It's a hardcover, and it's got like this plastic dust jacket on it that has kind of Joker's face. And then if you pull off the dust jacket, it's got like the his muscle tissue sticking out on the other side, his face ripped off, and on the back side it's got Batman. Yeah,
and the thing about it, like this story, I think I give Scott Snyder a lot of credit because, in all honesty, even though I love Batman, it's kind of like, what can you do by this point? There's so much stuff that's happened with Batman and Superman, all these guys. What can you really do? Even with the Joker, we can do the Joker, and he found a way to bring aspect to the Joker. I mean, part of me already knew it was there, but focused it in a different way, and at the same time, just first off, Joker got his face cut off. I'm not sure if Scott Snyder wrote that. I know that happened.
No, that happened earlier on.
Detective Comics somewhere, and it carries on to this.
Yeah, so this is what happens when you miss out. Like, it's like you sim. I mean, you get it. It's not like you go as ones. You feel like I'm missing something a lot, but you almost feel like you got to kind of like read
basic knowledge. Yeah, he got his face cut off, and so he's been missing from Gotham for a whole year. Then he comes back, and he goes in the police department and just breaks like he cuts out all the lights. He's just going through the police department, snaps a bunch of cops' necks, and takes his face and leaves. And it's creepy because he just literally has his old face just strapped to his face, just hooked around with bungee cords.
Oh, it's literally like Leatherface Joker.
Yeah, and it's actually it's creepy because as it goes on, it starts to decay and rot, and there's always flies around him. Like flies become a kind of a theme of it. I wonder if it's kind of like a Lord of the Flies, kind of like Satan kind of thing they have going on there, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But because that almost becomes an ongoing theme is the fly.
There's even just panels that just have the fly only in it.
Yeah, and then at some point though, it's just kind of what's weird about this book is usually Batman. You think Batman, okay, you get like some creepy stuff, but it's generally an action adventure. This book, it's really a horror story. There's some action in it, but it's really like you're watching a Batman slasher film. Is what this.
That's
book
what it's kind of like
Silence of the Lambs, like a Batman Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, it's sort of a Silence of the Lambs. You can even say it's sort of a Saw. It has that kind of feel to it. And you know, so sort of like this kind of. It also feels like that the sort of a nod to the Arkham Asylum comic book, not the game, but the comic.
Because they do some really weird things. Once Batman actually goes into... Well, there's so much that happens in this fucking book. Like, the small things that Scott Snyder adds to it. Like, the part when you find out that, like... the things Joker does. That he sleeps under... He said that sometimes he'll just go and he'll sleep under Commissioner Gordon's bed. They don't show it, but he sleeps down there sometimes just to fuck with him. And he never knew it. So it's one of those things, I could have done it, but I never did. I just want you to know, that's how good I am, you know?
Yeah. And even just like the turnaround it gets to at the very end of the book too. Where like you realize that like the Joker's known the entire time that Bruce Wayne's Batman, but he doesn't care whatsoever about Bruce Wayne. It's only about Batman. Yeah. You know, he'd be cheating if he went after Bruce Wayne.
It's one of those things though, he said like he looked at me, but he even see me. He doesn't want to know. And the thing about it, like, well, actually, first I want to talk more about the Joker before I get into the next thing I was going to say. He adds in an aspect that was kind of like, because they've always kind of like, people have always analyzed and studied, you know, the whole kind of like Batman-Joker relationship. And it's always been there to a certain degree, but he's always like, in this one, they're more like, look, I'm making Batman worthy. I'm making Batman awesome. I keep on giving him these challenges because he always finds a way out, and that's what I love about Batman. And in his own weird, twisted way, he says that he loves Batman. I know it depends on who's writing, because one person will say one thing, someone will say something else.
Yeah.
And I think that, but that's a pretty interesting way to go about it. And plus, he kind of brings in all the villains he brings in, I think...
Well, there's quite a bit that are in there, just even if they have, like, little... And I like that part where Batman he's going towards the Joker, it's just, like, everybody keeps coming up to try to stop him, just like, out of my fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, there's a part where Scarecrow's like, I'm here to escape. He just punches him right in the fucking throat.
Yeah,
or just jaw.
Yeah, he, like, just punches him in the jaw, like, throws him aside, just keeps on walking.
Yeah, and then even, like, Clayface is dressed as Commissioner Gordon. It's weird because he's Commissioner Gordon, but he's like, Commissioner Gordon without a t-shirt on, like, in his boxers.
I don't really know why, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, okay.
Just, let's go! Then he just takes Mr. Freeze's gun, just freezes him, like, shatters his head, and just keeps on walking, you know?
Do you feel bad for that horse that, like, Batman's riding a horse at one point, and then Mr. Freeze is like, stop, Batman! And he freezes the fucking horse's head, and then punches it, and it just, like, chunks of flesh are everywhere.
There's one part when they set, like, it's creepy, it's great, it's great imagery, but there's another horse they set on fire and have it running through Gotham. So, look, I'm going to go through through the asylum. Yeah. And there's another part, just such
a lot of horse death in this one too, because even Joker shoots this one horse.
Scott Snyder doesn't like horses.
Yeah.
No, but like I was gonna say, there's the one part he does a good job of just doing like a real creepy factor. When you first see it, you're like, what the fuck is going on? You see a couple of weird close angles of what looks like Batman and Joker dancing. And then it zooms out, and we see that what Joker did is, when he took over Arkham Asylum, he got a bunch of prisoners and a bunch of guards together, made them dress up like Batman and Joker, put them in cells, and just for days, they were just dancing in circles.
Yeah,
and
there's water at the bottom of the floor that if, somebody goes to save them, they're going to be electrocuted.
Or if they stop dancing, he's going to electrocute them, yeah. So, it's just, and like, you see one guy, he has just tears, and you see his feet are all bloody. He's like, Ivan, please stop, just kill me. It's just one of those things, it's just like, Scott Snyder, that guy's fucking twisted, but I love his work.
Yeah, because really, that's like, yes. All three of those last ones have just been, these really dark. It just keeps almost getting darker and darker.
And, like, Court of Owls Volume 1, there's a part in there that was kind of like Black Swan, when Batman drinks the drugged water and he's
and the book, I love how the book, you have to, like, spin the book around.
Yeah, it really reminded me of Black Swan, not just because of the bird thing, but just the look of it, the whole, just how I don't know, just had that kind of, I'm trying to think of a way, it was psychological, but there's that kind of, I'm not sure what the word is. There's that not like a slasher film, but almost that 1800s, that psychological, but it's almost that kind of 1800s kind of look to it. It has that vintage 1800s look.
Yeah,
it looks old timey. Yet it almost looks like the monsters are more kind of beastly, but yet it doesn't rely on gore. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I can't explain. I guess here's an example. Not a good movie, but it looked good. It was a good looking movie. The movie just wasn't good itself. Lady in Black.
I never saw that one, but I know.
The Harry Potter Ain't Afraid of No Ghosts, that one.
Yeah, Harry Potter 8.
Yeah. So that one, I love the look. Kind of had that old-timey kind of look to it, but,
Yeah. It had, there's things going good for the movie, just the movie just didn't pan out so well.
And it had that look combined with Black Swan, I think. That Volume 1, the part when he goes through that maze of just everything just... It's not so much dark, it's just more very bright, but it's still very creepy, and you still can't see it coming,
Exactly.
Yeah. But, no, Volume 3, though, that one, I thought it was just really good. Because Volume 2, it was good. It was good.
Volume 2, I think what sort of ruined the Court of Owls for me was that Night of Owls. It was just, when every series, it was just too much owls. It was just owl after owl. And it's almost kind of like, it sounds weird, but it's just like, it's sort of like, when you see it in like everybody's comic, it's just like...
If you probably didn't pick that up, number 2 probably would have been better.
Yeah, I think so. I think I might have enjoyed number... And I enjoyed number 2, but it was still really good.
Volume 3 is a good comeback. Yeah, it had that whole... I think if I didn't read the little middle thing that had all the stories...
The Night of Owls, yeah.
Yeah, number 2 probably would have been better. And plus, I think, even though I still love Scott Snyder's work, I didn't really like what he did with Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, that was one thing. It made Mr. Freeze kind of seem like a pussy character, and I always feel Mr. Freeze is a very, like... strong villain. And he just kind of seemed like, I'm a weird, creepy guy who jerks off to, like, 80-year-old women.
Yeah, it had that
it was like,
And then, aside, because I think Mr. Freeze was the one other sympathetic villain he had aside from Two-Face.
Well, the one thing I like about Mr. Freeze, he's just kind of one of those kind of guys who's just like, there was a time I did care, a time I did love, and they took it all from me, so fuck them.
Yeah, and I think that works. I didn't really like what he did with that, but everything else he's done.
And this one just made it like the main thing I also didn't like about the Mr. Freeze story is they made him out that like he was a psycho from day one.
Mm-hmm. I don't pushed his mother in the water. Yeah,
when I saw it, I was like, that was one of the things I was like, that issue. I didn't like that issue just because once like. That to me, people that are psycho from day one, that's like a Joker type character almost, or something like that. Somebody who, like Mr. Freeze, one of those kind of guys he really was a normal guy, and then once just everything was taken from him,
he lost his shit.
Yeah, and it's like, don't take the best part of like what makes Mr. Freeze away.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like it's sort of kind of like it's kind of like Harvey Dent too. I guess that's the same way too. He was a normal, really good guy until he got acid on him.
Yeah. And, well, I think that it was also... There's a couple of retellings of that story. One version is, like, he got acid in his face. Then we see him... The other one is it was, like, a slow burn, and the acid was just the last straw.
Yeah.
And in Long Halloween, which I don't know if Long Halloween is in any way part of the continuity still, but in Long Halloween, they had... what they did was... It was a... he got ass in his face. It's not like I'm evil now. He's more of just like, look what they fucking did to me. Fuck these guys. They gotta fucking die. They gotta burn. Why should we do this? And clearly the system doesn't work. Wanna know why? Look at me, you know? So then he started going out. Then once Batman kept on stopping, he's like, fine, fuck you. And then as soon as that happened, he started having to ally himself with other people that he wouldn't have allied himself with previously. Then he just went down that slippery slope.
He fell down the slope. That's really, because that's kind of, Harvey's almost very similar to Batman in a sense, just where are you that slope can take you.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think that's one of the things why Batman will never kill. He uses Harvey as an example of that.
Yeah, he's like, that's who I could have been.
Because eventually, you know, he was...
Or Jason Todd.
Yeah. Which is cool.
I love that part. There's a part where Batman gets knocked out in Volume 3, and he has this like horrible nightmare where it's like, oh, it's a Batman get together, everybody's here and stuff, and then like Alfred comes in and he's got the fucking like his face all tied up to him like the Joker and stuff. And what's the line?
Well, it's actually it's Alfred's face tied to the Joker. That's what it's
that's what it is. Yeah, it's Alfred's face tied to Joker, and Batman's like, what the fuck? And then wakes up again, and then
he comes at him with an axe.
Because of the axe, and then like he wakes up again.
Greg Capullo's an amazing...
And it's funny because they're all standing there, and the one that when Batman wakes up, I just want to say, like, he just, like... Damien's actually the one that says the line, but you could have just seen Batman just fucking look over and go, who the fuck brought Jason Todd back in here?
He was going to say it. Like,
we're on text-only terms.
he looks at Jason, he just closes his mouth, and like Damien says, he's like, alright, I was gonna say it, but he's right.
And Dick's like, come on, dude, he's the other Robin. He's like, yeah, whatever, fuck him. Fuck him and his red fuck hood.
I'll say this real quick. I love Greg Capullo's artwork. He's probably one of my favorite artists out there. But Damien in this picture...
He always has that, like,
Look at this way he drew Damien right here in this panel.
He's like, ugh. Yeah. The one thing about I know there's that kind of thing, like if you picked up a book that said like how to draw personalities for characters, and they want to say like a kid, they said like child who's like, you know, proud and overconfident. That like literally that looks like what Greg Capullo drew. He just literally drew like that kid with that super exaggerated like head tilted as far back as possible, arms crossed, like I'm so cool.
Mm-hmm. Almost kind of like, what's his name?
There's like 3 pictures in a row, and Damien just all has like that, like, oh, my head's turned up, I'm so awesome.
Chin out, kind of like half eyes halfway closed.
Fuck you, Dick. Fuck you, Jason. Fuck you, Tim.
Barbara.
Fuck you, Barbara.
I thought that I'll say this though. I'm not gonna like downgrade the book for this. There's the part where Joker actually, because it really went a direction I didn't see it go. And then it kind of pulls back. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to downgrade it, but because I understand you got to go through executives and all that too. Mm-hmm. But there's the part when Batman's tied up at the table with all of the Bat family there.
Well, I guess the story getting up to this is the Joker's like, he's like, well, you know, I'm going to strike Batman where it hurts. I'm going to get all his Bat family up, and, you know, that's Batman's weakness, is his family. That's what brings him down. It really should just be me and him. Joker and Batman. That's what it really, that's Joker's whole motive, it seems like, throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
So he captures everybody.
Captures everybody, yeah.
No, I was leading up to your story.
Oh, yeah.
But I decided I should explain why.
I was like, did I do something wrong? He said this look. No, he captures everybody, and he kind of like, he says like, and you're going to kill him though. That's the thing. You're the one who's going to kill him. Mm-hmm. And what he ends up doing is eventually it leads into, just one clue leads to another, and he goes, and they have this fear that Joker might have been in the Batcave. He might know where the Batcave is. And because it was the first time we fought, I thought I kind of lost him. And then I get back to the Batcave. Next morning, I come down. There's a Joker card floating in the water. I realized that at some point it had some kind of like tracking type device on it.
No, it didn't have that on it.
But it had some kind of like adhesive thing to it that would.
No, because what he said, he was like, I found this card. I did all this study on it. There was no tracking device. Nothing. The only thing on it was there was like an adhesive, like he slapped it on and it was water resistant, but that was it.
And then he says that what ends up happening is he says. He could have. He says like he could
have. Because like everybody's like trying to explain, but he's like Batman's like no, smart, me, not you. It's like, but you know what the Joker was holding on, the Batmobile would have known, or the Batboat would have noticed it. But if not, I had to drive underwater through like 15 miles at, speeds of like 85 miles per hour.
He couldn't hold on to that. I couldn't hold on to it. Fuck, he couldn't hold on to it.
You guys can't hold on to it. If I can't hold on to it, nobody can fucking hold on to it.
Yeah, so then he just addresses, like, so the car just must have slapped there. And then, well, he ends up saying later, actually, so going back to the dinner table. So what happens is everybody has bags over their heads, tied up at the dinner table. Batman's tied up. He has an electric chair hat on. He was electrocuted earlier, but not killed. And he has like some ignition kind of rocks at the bottom of the legs of the chair. So if he tries to move too much, it's going to start a spark, which is going to lead.
There's gasoline all over the floor.
Yeah, which is going to lead to everybody else in there, causing him to kill them. So what they ends up doing is Joker comes out. Alfred comes out all like Jokerified, and they pull the lever up, and bags come up. And we see that all the Bat family, their faces are carved off. They have bandages.
I gotta say, the main reason everybody's here is because Alfred was captured in the very beginning of the book by the Joker. And that's kind of like the whole motive is like, and Batman's like, I can't tell anybody else. They'll get too emotional.
Yeah, they find out regardless, though.
Yeah.
And then then what ends up happening is they pull the fucking dishes open in front of them, and what it's their faces on ice.
And they got all these bloody bandages around them, so you're like, oh, did he actually cut off everybody's face?
And you're like, holy... And that was literally a moment, I was like, what the fuck? I literally said that out loud when I got to that page. And then what happens is, we find out that, Batman, of course, being Batman, smart, he gets out of it, and he manages to pull the bandages off, and we see that it was just a ruse. Their faces aren't really cut off.
Yeah.
Which I'll say, that feels kind of like a little bit of a holdback. I mean, I know that even when I saw their faces were going to cut off, I knew they were going to make it out, and I knew their faces were going to
It'd be so weird, though, if after this, just everybody had that fucking, like, weird, like, plastic surgery strapped-on mask. It's like, from that point on, all the Batman characters were all these deformed-looking guys.
I didn't think it was going to have that. I mean, I knew that they could get it. I mean, I knew that you live in a world where fuckers can fly, and we have magic rings. Yeah, so I knew they could get anything. They could fix anything. Joker just chooses not to have that, because he's a sick fuck.
Yeah.
So, So you could still fix that. I'm not going to hold it against the book too much, but it seems like we show you the most fucked up thing possible and just pulled away at the last minute. But I'm not going to grade it too much because you still got that punch and you still got that kick right when you saw it. You know? So, and I don't want their face to get cut off, but I just assumed they would just get surgery and it would jump to like a week later. No, our faces are back to normal, But then Batman goes up against Joker. They sock each other around for a little while. Batman says, like, look, I know who you are, and this is the stuff I love about Batman, when Batman gets the best of the Joker. It's never really when Batman kicks the fuck out of him, because he can do that. He's Batman.
Yeah, it's when he explains shit to him.
It's when he can say just the right thing and cause the Joker to be like, no, just freak out. And there's not very many of those moments. When those moments happen, they're like some of the best moments in comics.
It really is.
And because that's the only way you can really get the Joker. And leading up to it logically, that is just, and he does it. He says, I know who you are, and I know this, I know that, let me tell you who you are. And by this point, they're hanging off a waterfall, and Joker just, they say, we didn't find the body, but he's still fucking alive.
Yeah. He
willingly just jumps off the waterfall, and we see the face fall down with it. And that's when he tells this one story about he says he goes to visit Joker in Arkham after, like, this is early in his career. And he says, I was there as Bruce Wayne, and he says he visits the Joker when the warden wasn't looking. He goes up to the window, slaps the card to the window, says, Joker, you left this card at my place, or some shit. And then Joker turns around, just peeks over his shoulder, then looks back.
Whatever.
Yeah, and kind of like, but the way he drew him, though, he doesn't draw him, like, smiling, cackling. He has this look kind of like, I'm stuck in prison. When he sees Batman, he always has this look of shame, like, oh shit, he didn't see me, he didn't see me, he didn't see me. He just kind of, and the way they draw him in those two panels, it just says so much more, Well,
there's another one, I want to say it's like the beginning of issue 3 or something in that book, where it just shows this, like, dark background and then Joker's face just peering out with these tiny pupils and stuff. And I love how there's this long thing where Batman's just, like, explaining how, like, by the size of people's pupils, you can tell things. There's, like, there's 5 different ways that, tell a person's emotion from pupils. There's 15 different variations of it, and he just keeps going through. But his pupils just, they don't change. You can't tell. They're just always stuck in that, like, anger, position as much as possible.
He's like, he hates everything all at once, and he's always fixed on the same thing.
And it goes through, it's just like Batman keeps having this thing. He's like, he is flesh and bones. He is human. He is just like me. There's no difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not, like, a creature. He is still a human. Mm-hmm. He can be stopped.
Yeah.
Kind of, like, ordeal.
Yeah. But it's just it's those moments where Batman's able to say something to make Joker get angry. They're very rarely happen, but when it does happen, it's like the best part in any Batman book. And seeing Joker, just the way they draw Joker at the very end when he has the flash, he has such a look of defeat. He doesn't really look insane. He looks more, he's Joker, so he looks messed up and weird looking, but he doesn't look like the cackling psychotic. Yeah. He almost has this look of shame, like, fuck, that's Batman without his costume. I don't want to know. Yeah. Don't look. Just has that kind of look on his face.
Uh-huh.
And there's actually a little thing that it's kind of like one of those moments. Like there's the Batman book. Well, actually, Batman's barely in it, but the book Joker has one of the best.
Is that the New 52 one?
No, it's the Brian.
Is that the one that has the really good drawings in
this
it?
One,
yeah.
The Brian Azzarello one. Azzarello, that one.
That's the one's got the really good drawing.
Yeah,
that's fucking retarded when you say it like that. The good drawings in it.
Lee Bergamo, yeah, that's a really good book. And there's a moment Batman only has one line in that whole book, but what's cool about that book is Joker is always presented as something that haunts Batman. In that book, it's presented like Batman is something that always haunts the Joker.
Yeah,
when that's kind of a cool twist. And then he still feels, you don't feel for the Joker, you don't feel bad for him, but he's sick, he's psychotic. At the very end, Batman comes in, they're facing off, and then he says you're just really a monster, you try to pretend like a monster, you try to pretend like you're one of us, you try to be scared of us, but you don't have the balls to do what we do, and you don't even have the balls to wear a fucking badge, so you try to be a monster, you try to scare us, yet you give us a little window of that perfectly chiseled chin. Why do you do it? Why? And Batman just pauses for a second, and you just see his lower mouth with just a faint smirk. He says, "To mock you." And that line just makes Joker flip the fuck out. And that's just one of those, not laughing kind of like Joker, just more hateful, angry
I like that
Joker.
Angry one.
Yeah.
Where just Joker's just whenever somebody gets, almost like when somebody out-jokes the Joker too, that's always a great one too. Mm-hmm. Or corrects the Joker, all those funny.
Yeah.
There's just all those great things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I will say that Batman Volume 3 actually even has a moment like that where it almost explains that the fear thing, and it goes to it a little bit that Joker's fear is Batman, Batman's fear is Joker.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of mix together.
Yeah.
I will say Batman Volume 3 though is probably one of the best Joker stories I've ever read though. Yeah. It really puts one, a new twist on the Joker. Two, that just adds to the collection of great Joker stories.
And I do love the Joker. It's just one of those things. After a while,
he's like Lex Luthor. When it gets down to it, they have some of the best stories ever. Some of the best Superman stories is Lex Luthor and Superman. It's a perfect combination, but you just got to be very careful that you don't use them too much to the point where you're like, oh,
and they didn't use them too
another
much.
Joker, another Lex Luthor story.
And they just kind of waited it out long enough, and they brought in a really great story that really, I think, just kind of adds to it.
Mm-hmm. And as well as ones, because at first, it's like I knew it was a Joker story going into it, so it's gonna be good no matter what. Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. But I'm like, you just kind of have that thing where it's like, it's Joker, but then you get through it and you're like, oh, well.
I'm really looking forward to Zero Year, because he says Riddler plays a bigger part in that, and I love the way
Riddler was great in the third one.
Yeah, because
he had a small part, but I just like how, he's explaining all his different ways. He's like, there's 46 ways to get out of here and stuff. And Riddler, or Joker comes to me, he's like, hey, Edward, we need you in this thing. So,
they're back and forth.
He's like, just to make sure you're still up to par, I gotta throw all this gas inside there. And Riddler breaks out. He's like, well, there's 46 ways to get out of here. 8 ways to do it in under 10 seconds. The easiest way would have just been to break the glass at a certain area, but I chose option B, or I chose option 4.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of those things that, that's a good way to write the Riddler. Because for a while, the Riddler that annoys me is the Riddler in Arkham. Riddler, pretty much, the camp Riddler.
Batman, you're a fucking idiot. You can't solve my riddles.
I'm hiding in a tower. You can't get me. That gets annoying after a while. This Riddler, where he's condescending and he's more of an escape artist. I like that. That's really good.
He likes riddles. He likes... I just like the kind of guy, he just likes a lot of challenge.
And he's like... And I'm looking forward to seeing him in... Because he's going to be the main villain, apparently, of Zero Year.
That's cool.
So, I'm really looking forward to see him, right? Because Riddler is one of those characters... I don't love the Riddler. I don't really hate him. It's kind of like depends on who's writing him and how they write him. And I really love the way Scott Snyder wrote Riddler.
Yeah. Riddler's a character I think can be really well used, but...
I like him in the animated series. He's good in the animated
those
series.
are some of the coolest episodes, actually, in Batman. Because I like the challenges that the Riddler can present to Batman and Robin.
It's more that I just get annoyed after a while. Maybe it's just playing a lot of Arkham.
I think it's all... Because all three of the Arkham games, it's just kind of like one of those ones... Well, the first one's actually not so bad, because it's like, whatever, I'll just pick up these trophies along the way. If I see it, I pick it up, I'm not going to go out of my way, because it gives you experience points.
Yeah.
But it's like in the other two, it's just like, no, fuck you, I'm not going out and picking up all this shit.
Exactly, yeah.
I'll do it for everybody else because their shit is like 6 items. Yours is like 150.
Yeah.
This isn't fucking Pokemon.
So that's why you just get kind of like, yeah, fuck that guy after a while. He did a great job writing
I hopefully hope in one of those Arkham games they just need to utilize the Riddler a little bit more. I think it's one of those ones like, in the first one it made sense. It was like, okay, so he's just kind of like that extra character. It kind of, gives you the hidden packages and talks to you along the way. But by 2 and 3, it's like, really use him just like a main character and actually have like a storyline where like I'm gonna go back to an animated series one, like that one where they go into like the virtual reality game thing. They're trapped in that world.
Episode,
yeah, it's kind of like it's almost like Labyrinth too, sort of like they have to go through these challenges. There's even like monsters they have to face. Like that's really how the Riddler one should be.
Yeah.
You can even have a fucking the characters that I think that would team up really well. They have like a strange world. Almost if you have a mix of like Riddler and even Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter. I never really liked Mad Hatter.
Well, Mad Hatter, like...
I guess I'm just so sick of people who like Alice in Wonderland.
Well, the Mad Hatter, he's one of those kind of characters, he's really not like a super, like, original character. It's really just like, he's just an evil version of the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. Just even more evil.
Yeah.
I like the way he is on the Arkham Asylum games and whatnot.
They do a good job making him creepy.
Because he's creepy, and I like the way his thugs look, because they just got those, like, rabbit masks on, and just... There's something about that. And then, like, whenever they've actually utilized him well as, like, a side character, because, like, you actually go to, like an Alice in Wonderland like world.
Yeah.
It's not just like kind of like a half-assed like, okay, do the same thing you did with every other fighting things, but now it's Two-Face.
No, I thought
Black Mask.
I thought that like, well, let me put it this way: Mad Hatter, he's one of those characters I'm not really super excited to see him ever, but if he's there, whatever, okay. But I do think he's utilized well in the Arkham games.
That's
because they do present him scary. Whenever they do have him, he always does present him pretty scary and pretty creepy. Not so much scary like, oh, this guy's gonna kick my ass. More like a creepy pedophile kind of.
Yeah, he is that.
Which that's almost more creepier than that.
Yeah, then a guy can kick your ass.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't wait for Zero Year though. That comes I think in February.
Okay.
So no, that's Flash Volume 3.
Fuck.
No, I think it might come out around that same time.
Well, I know they've been at it for a little while, so hopefully it does. I mean, it doesn't seem too far away if that's the case. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Zero Year. That should be pretty good.
There's always like other... You can always read the other Batman stories in between.
Yeah, you could, but I got nothing really to look forward to that much for a while. Now I can make it out of the furnace, but I mean beyond that.
Yeah, I know. I think that's like in a sense. There's some other movies I wouldn't mind seeing this year, but that's the one last movie of the year that I'm really looking forward to. Well, I guess it's a good place to end it at. Check out oldmanorange.com for all things Old Man Orange. Go to Newgrounds and check us out. YouTube.
Give us 5 stars on Vimeo. iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes.
Write us a review if you like us.
And you can email us at oldmanorangepodcast@yahoo.com. Till then, I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
We will see you later.